Hello, welcome to an artist spotlight on Estaban Morato. I think that's how I'm supposed to pronounce his name. But here is a beautiful drawing of Red Sonja. I'm sure you have heard me say many times in previous videos on how much I love black and white and how sometimes coloring can muddle up the details. So here's a beautiful drawing in color in Marvel Treasury, and here is the black and white version that was first published a few years earlier. Just look at it's just absolutely beautiful. Just look at the detail on the monster, the tentacle, or the tail. I think that's a tail. Just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous drawing. I can't say enough about how much I love Estaban, Mr. Maroto, and he is a perfect example of an artist that, for whatever reason, didn't do enough work. I'm not sure the reason. Maybe he didn't want to do comic books. Maybe there was not enough room for him for whatever reason. He's from Spain, so he's not an US artist, okay? And one other thing about Marvel magazine or many other magazines in the 70s, they use a lot of artists from Spain, the Philippines, you name it. And often you can find a lot of gems in these magazines. Okay, so there you go, beautiful drawing, but I prefer the black and white. Let's get this out of the way. And if you wonder, it came from this. I had this magazine for a few years, and one of the things that is beautiful is beside this drawing, as you can see, there's a little signature right there of Estaban Morato. But the gem on this book is this story. For the longest time, I thought it was Neil Adams, okay? Because it, as you can see, it has a very strong Neil Adams look to it. Just look at the way the face on the man and the women. Okay, so for the longest time, I thought it was, as you can see, beautiful drawing. This story was also reprinted in color in Red Sonja 1. And when I did my artist spotlight on Frank Thorne, I asked the question if anybody knew who the artist was for this story, because it looked a lot like Neil Adams, but there was no credit given to the reprint stories. And a YouTuber, Vulcan Man, I believe, told me that it was Morato. And if I paid attention to the credit, as you can see, so look at that, gorgeous. So here's the first time that this was drawn and published, and it belonged to my Savage Sword of Conan #1. Gorgeous book. This book is near perfect. You can see, razor sharp. I bought this a couple years ago, probably near mint plus. Stunning. Beautiful book. Okay, so that's the Treasury. As far as Estaban Morato, I had to say that he was one of those guilty pleasure authors that when I was younger and saw the Vampirella magazine in the local store, I was too afraid to buy it or even flip through it because I don't want to be yelled at for being underage. But as I get older and start to collect Vampirella, I had to say that out of all the different authors that graces the page of Vampirella, Estaban Maroto is my absolute favorite. I don't know what the reason is that he did not do more work. Certainly not enough work in comic books, but to me, he's the best Vampirella artist out there. As far as covers, for sure. You get the many great artists that did the covers, especially Frank Frazetta, right? But inside many of the book, you have a story by Estaban Morato, drawn by him. Look at that. I love his style. Absolutely masterful. Just look at that. If you are not familiar with him, no doubt picking up a run of Vampirella will give you an eye full of his talent. Let's look at this. Often you hear, most comic book collectors are familiar with Neil Adams, and we all love Neil Adams, but there are a lot of talented artists out there that does not get their dues. Not sure, the reason. I'm sure the reasons are different from each artist as far as why they did not do a lot of work. Maybe they did not like drawing comic books or superheroes. But my God, look at this. This is as good and incredible as it can be. Okay, I can't say anything else about how this drawing can be any better. It's just incredible. And in main of the Vampirella book, you have a lot of 8-page story that are drawn by Estaban. Just look at that. The amount of details. Wow. I'm trying to balance out between showing the art as best as I can and not make the video too long. So that's one issue. That's issue number 16. If you jump to issue 17, once again, great painted covers. And here we go. As you can see, his style is it's unique. It's almost like a combine of Walt Simonson, Neil Adams, Alex Nino, Bill Sienkiewicz. It's like a style that have so many great elements of all the other greats in it. Great anatomy, well balanced, very realistic, and the shading, masterful use of black and white lighting. Look at that. As you can see why when I look at the Red Sonja story drawn by him and Neil Adams, I didn't figure out that was Estaban drawing, because as you can see, when Neil inked it, he definitely put a lot of his influence over the penciling. That's my guess. But just look at the detail here. My God. masterpiece, okay? I love these kind of artists because I admire people like this greatly. Beautiful panel layout, storytelling. Other YouTubers have showcased his art, so I'm not the only one. So I highly recommend you, search on YouTube. I will put a link to a short video of his sketching at a convention where he did a beautiful sketch of Vampirella. I think you will enjoy that. Okay, so that's issue 17, issue 18. Every cover of Vampirella is just awesome. Here we go. Let's look at that. I gush over the incredible work of Bonnie Wrightson, but trust me, Estaban Maroto deserve just as high of praises. Okay, in my opinion, in my view, his art, his style are just gorgeous. This is one of my favorite pages. Look at the beautiful lines. This is just pure eye candy, okay? Let's look at that. It's gorgeous. There are a lot of other great artists that also did a lot of work on a regular basis for Vampirella. So definitely one of those magazines that I highly recommend everybody to go out there and buy themselves as many of these issues they can. Just look at that. Wow. Gorgeous. Page after page, I'm telling you, there is not one panels that wasn't incredible. Just look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, last, so that I don't run this video on forever, issue number 20. Just look at this. Look at that. Like I said, he's a master of using shading, black and white. Most master, like Steranko, Estaban, Frank Miller, are so masterful in using black and white. No need for color, okay? No need whatsoever. I can't say enough on how beautiful the black and white drawings are. It's just beautiful. So much details. I can't say that he was underappreciated. I have no idea what, the magazine comic book community view of Estaban. All I can say is I love his style. I love his work. I put it right up there with the greatest, like Neil Adams or Steranko or Barry Windsor Smith, you name it. All the greats, Bernie Wrightson, all the ones that I love, I put them right in there in that group because I just absolutely adore his work. Okay, this is the last page I can show. Just trying to give you the best close-up look. Just look at that. Wow. Like I said, so stylish. Unbelievable right here. Unbelievable. Just look at that. Even, people like, artists that are so detailed like McFarlane, this is way head and shoulder above that kind of detail. There's a difference between drawing a million lines and then drawing a million lines that blends in so well. Anyhow, that's it. Hopefully you enjoy my showcase of Estaban Morato. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye.